Okay, can you hear me now? My audio wasn't jumping before, but it is now, so I feel like it's working now. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Um, I'm going to try and I'm going to try and keep my eye on the comments while I go through the lesson. But I'll probably have to check back and forth. I only have 2 monitors and I need 3 if I wanted to leave that chat where I can see it. So I'm going to jump into the lesson now. When I go through the lesson, I'm going to show you where I've already recorded a lesson for this. So this YouTube live is going to take the place of where I would do the face-to-face instruction of the lesson that I would give you in class. So remember, I was telling everybody yesterday I deliver my lessons three ways. Okay, so the first way is for you to go through the lesson, see the screenshots. The second way is when I face-to-face go through the lesson. And the third way is when you can watch the video of me teaching the lesson. So the video of me teaching the lesson, I think that was last year. It could have even been earlier than that because I have long hair in the video, and I'll show you that when I get to it. But I found it. It was at the end of the lesson, not the beginning, which is kind of stupid. But okay, here we go. So this is our Moodle class, Computer Science 20, face-to-face, Baron. This is how I have mine set up. If you can see up here, I have this dashboard. Dashboard is all my active courses in Learning Online. So right now, I'm actually 75% Learning Online and 25% at Miller. So I'm only teaching one class. And you can see out of all my classes here, this is the only one that has F2F in it, which means the rest of these are all online classes. So this is my computer science face-to-face class. I bookmarked the dashboard so I don't have to search it every time. And then I can switch between my classes really easy. Okay, so this is the main course. As I scroll down, you can see where my live stream is here, which is what we're in now. This is the introduction that we went through 2 days ago. Okay. It looks like I've got 14 of 21 submitted of the practice assignment. So I still have 7 people that have to submit that practice assignment. So I'm not going to give you the answer yet because I want those 7 to go through and do that as well. All right. If you don't do the practice assignment, you won't be able to access the lesson. If you don't do the lesson, you won't be able to access assignment 1. Okay. And there's a trick with these lessons to get them to mark complete. And actually, I'm going to show you that as well. Everything has to mark complete. And you can see these arrows along this side. You'll have these once you've completed something. There's nothing in the course that needs me to mark it complete before you can advance. Everything is, you're capable of making it mark complete on your own. Okay, so because I did that practice assignment, mine is marked complete. I have a check mark in this box. Okay, that means lesson 1 opens up, and you can check my lesson 1 as a check mark. And then all the assignments, every task has a check mark for whether or not it's been marked complete. Okay, once it's marked complete, that opens the next thing. Now with the lessons, there is sometimes a bit of a trick to get them to mark complete, because I know all of you would get to a lesson and you would be like, I'm just going to go all the way through this lesson. I'm not going to read anything. I just want to do the assignment. So I kind of try and challenge that. So in here, for my activity completion, I have it set to students must do this activity for 6 minutes. Okay, so this lesson takes 6 minutes before it marks complete. If you spend 5 minutes and 50 seconds on the lesson, it's not going to mark complete. And then if you leave, you have to spend a whole new 6 minutes. So make sure on the lessons, and I've kind of got them marked so that how long it would take somebody to actually read each piece of the lesson and to watch any videos that are in there as well. So make sure you're spending, I don't think I put more than 6 minutes on any lesson. So that's a bit of a hint for you. Okay, getting started with Scratch. Now Scratch is a web-based program. It's web-based software, so there is a version that you can download, but it's actually not as good as the web-based, and that's saying a lot because typically web-based software is garbage. This web-based software is better than the app that you can download. So I would highly recommend you use the online version. Plus, then you can work on it from anywhere. If you're doing your Scratch lessons and then we end up back in the classroom, you're not going to have to carry anything or transfer anything. You can just go into the school and you can pick up where you left off. Okay, Scratch was founded by MIT, and they actually started it as for children because back in, I don't know, let's say the 80s, maybe the 90s, the early 90s, mid 90s, they realized that nobody was going into computer science. Everybody was using computers more and more, but they weren't getting people in computer science. So they started doing all kinds of things to try and make computer science more relevant and attractive for people to go into, and they made software free for you to learn how to do it. And this was another one. They created Scratch as a way to try and get kids, young children, interested in coding. But after they created it, everybody started realizing, wow, this is a great gateway into coding for anybody who wants to code. So I highly recommend it for anybody who's interested in it, and I use it as a way to jumpstart us into the lesson. So the Scratch website, I've got it linked here. And when you go to that Scratch website, it's going to ask you to join Scratch. Okay, so I have this open here. And this lesson, like I said, this lesson's a few years old, and they've done a few upgrades. So things look a little bit different than my screenshots, but I'm going to go through the actual page. So I'm already logged in. So I'm going to sign out. Okay. What was that here? Okay. So you can join Scratch here. When you click this, that's where you'll get this sign up method here. So when you pick a username for your Scratch assignment, pick a username that will tell me who you are, because I don't know who Noobmaster is. If somebody uses that as a username, I have no idea who that is. Pick a username that you can remember, and because we have to do this a couple times this year, we actually do it 3 times. We do it for Scratch, then we do it for Python, and then we do it for Python with Turtle. We have to have a username for all 3. I don't want you to use your first name and your last name because privacy and security and all that stuff. But if you could put just your first name in there so that I have a way of knowing. I don't think we have anybody with the same first name. So just put your first name in there, even just a portion of your first name, just so I know who it is. Okay? Next page. So once you've done that, choose a username, choose a password. From here, it's going to ask for your birth date. I never put my real birth date in things like this that don't actually require my real birth date. I always put my birth date as January 1, 1977. So it makes me older than I actually am, and January 1 is not my birthday. So, and the reason I do that is because you can call a bank and they will try and verify who you are by you giving them your birthday. So you just maybe don't have your birth date out there where strangers maybe can look at it. Okay, from there, you're going to go down to email address. All of you have an email address for Regina Catholic School Division. It's your first name dot your last name at RCSDCA. But you don't have to use that one. All you have to do is make sure you use an email that you're going to actually use. Okay, something that you can go and check. Because after you put an email in here, you're going to have to go and confirm that. If you don't confirm the email or verify the account through your email, you can't share your assignments with me. Okay, so make sure it's something that you're actually going to use. And then take the check off this box so you don't get a bunch of emails. Okay, so once you've done that, you should get this message, and you can move on to the next step. Okay, so the next step would be to verify the email. And I didn't put that in here, but I should. Once you've created the account, go to your email. You'll have an email sent to you from Scratch. And in that email, you have to click to verify. Make sure you do that or you're not going to be able to share. And I'm going to show you how to share right away here. Okay, so make sure you've done that. And once you finish that, you'll have your username up here on the main Scratch website. Okay, you can explore hundreds and thousands of other Scratch projects people have made. And you can even take a Scratch project somebody else made and you can kind of like copy it. It's called stitching it. And you can change it or add to it or make it different. And there's tons of really cool stuff that people have created, and it can give you ideas for your assignments on how to do it. Now, when you do stitch somebody else's stuff, it includes that and says this was stitched from this user, so you can't really steal their content, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with looking at what they did and using it in your own. Okay? Okay, so projects. Every time you create something in Scratch, you're working on a project. You'll see those projects in My Stuff. Okay, so in the Scratch website, once I've signed in, you can pull down here, and here's My Stuff. Everything that I've created. Okay, if you want to start a new Scratch program, you can just hit Create. But for now, I'm going to show you My Stuff, which is probably a little bit unorganized. Okay, so these are all my just things I've been messing around with. And then I have studios. And each of my studios are where all of you submit your assignments. Okay, so those are all of them there. Now, if I want to, let me go back to the lesson. Okay, so I showed you that. You can hit New Project to start stuff if you want to, or you can just hit Create. So from here, I hit Create, and it takes a second, and then it's going to open up a project. Okay. All right, hang on. I've got a question from somebody in the chat. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this is where you will create all of your programs for Scratch. Okay, this here is where all of your blocks of code are, and you can see all the different options. You have motion, which is always blue, and you have looks, which is something that you can do to change how an element of your program looks. Sound, you can add sound to them, different events that can occur, or you can control. These are where your loops are, your if-then statements. Okay, all of them have specific functions. And when you look there, the stage it's got a cat on it right now. And we call these sprites. There's tons and tons and tons of sprites you can add. And you can see here this sprite, and the name of this sprite is Sprite 1. And I can call it Cat 1 if I want to. Okay, if I want to add sprites, I can click here. I can upload a JPEG or a PNG image, and that will become a sprite. I highly recommend you remove the background and make the background transparent if you want to use a sprite of your own creation, just because it looks silly if it has a border. Yeah, I guess you can pick one by surprise. You can use Paint to draw your own, or you can choose a sprite. So here's where you choose the sprite, and you can see all of the different options of sprites that you can throw into your program. And all you have to do is double click them, and now that sprite has been brought in. Okay, sorry, I'm just double checking. I have some students asking questions in the Teams meeting. Okay, give me 1 second here. I just need to provide the link. I don't know if this one will work or not. Okay, sorry, just give me 1 second. I have to grab the link for a student. I don't know if the one I shared is going to work. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, back we go. Now, where did I go here? Okay, so I'm just gonna go back to Scratch. So that's the stage. You can throw your sprites in there, and then any of the code that you put on those sprites is related to which one you have selected down in this sprite window. So if I want this code for the cat, these are all the things I want the cat to do. Then when I click microphone, I get a new code window, which is in the center here, and this is where I can put different code in for the microphone. Okay? The third place or the next place that you can insert code is going to be the backdrop. Okay? So I can throw different code that I want to happen just on the backdrop. Now the backdrop is not really a sprite. The backdrop is just the background of the code, the background of the project. Okay? And you can throw different backdrops in here. These are all the options to do that. Okay, so you can pick any one that you want. So I'm going to pick that one. This is the same as the sprites. You can upload a background image if you want to use your own background image and put it in there. Or you can draw your own background image in Paint. Okay, that is sprites, backdrops, code window, and the code blocks where you can get all of them. Okay, now if I'm going to influence this sprite, I can grab it and move it wherever I want. And I'm going to get rid of all of this code, so I just drag it back into the block window. And I am going to make this sprite do something. And the way I do that is I have to have a start point for it. So I say when the green flag is clicked. So that's basically like saying run. You want your program to run. So I'm going to click here to run my program. So I'm saying when the flag is clicked, do the following. I have nothing here right now. And you can see all of these pieces are like puzzle pieces. So when I want to do something, I'm going to have it click into, and now they're both a group because they click together. Okay, then I can have another one that clicks in, so I can move 100 steps, turn 15 degrees. And then I'm going to have it move another 100 steps. And you can see all of this is all one code block now. Now the 100 that it moves here is pixels. It's not really critical for you to know that that's pixels, but if you take any video screen, everything is all based on little tiny squares that are all jammed together to make a picture. So this one's saying I'm going to move 10 pixels on this screen. So now when I click this, oh, I did that to the microphone, not the cat. So I had the microphone selected. The cat still has all that garbage. So the microphone's selected, so the microphone is going to move. Okay, you can see it ended up down here, but it looked like it teleported. See, because computers are stupid. They only do exactly what you tell them to do. So they're not going to do things in a way that humans would do it, where we would do it slow so people can see it. So if I want to have it more visible, I'm going to say move 100 steps, wait 1 second, turn 15 degrees, wait 1 second, and then move another 100 steps. Okay, so now when I run this, you can see how it moves, it turns, moves, and there's that wait in there. Okay, that's how that works. Questions? Let me know. There's no questions in here. I'm going to check Teams. Doesn't look like there's any questions in there. Okay. think I've gone through this. New project. Okay, I covered the stage, backdrops and sprites. Oh, they call it the scripts pane. Sure. These are all called scripts. I like to call them blocks. Whatever. They're both the same. Okay, and the canvas is where you place your scripts. This is where the magic happens. This is where I call it our code window. Again, I apologize, I'm using different terminology, but once you've worked in your project, you need to save it. You don't need to save it. See how it's already, this one's already saving by itself. Because it's web-based, it'll just keep saving every once in a while. Now, if you ever do have a little save option on there, so if I throw this in, now it's going to say, oh, you haven't saved this yet. You should click here to save it. But if I leave it long enough, it'll save on its own. Okay, but if you ever do see that save now, you just click it, it saves it, and now you've got that project there. Here's where you name it. Don't allow things to be named by the default name. Anything I have named by the default name, I can just delete it because it's not important. Okay, I'll even go this far and say, I'll name this delete this now so that I remember this is not an important thing. Okay, so now I've changed that. If I leave and go back to the main Scratch website, and then I go down here to my stuff, it's going to show all projects. And you see it puts in the most recent one. And this is the one that's delete this now. So when I go back in here, it's going to show me a preview of what my program can do, and then when I want to go back in and look, I can say see inside, and here's all my code again. Okay, so that's how you save it or re-access it later. Okay, I think I've gone through all of that. All right, here's the video. This is the video I made a few years ago. I know it's the video because my hair is long, and it looks like it was summertime, so I've got a bit of sun. And the video quality is awful. Anyway, my beard was much longer too. So, you may not be able to see that. There. So I had long hair, longer beard, sun. Anyway, you can go through this and you can watch this. You actually have to spend that much time on it anyway. So you go through here and watch this. The last thing that I want to show you how to do is this share button. If you are working in Scratch and you don't have this share button, it means you haven't verified your email address. You have to go into the email account that you use to sign up for Scratch, and you have to verify. You'll have an email from Scratch. It might be in your junk folders or wherever. Find that email, verify it, and then you can come in here and hit share. Okay, and the reason for that, this is the end of this lesson. I'm not going to watch the video. You all can do that. I hit end, and I get to the end of the lesson. As long as I spent at least 6 minutes on that lesson, this is going to mark complete. It's going to have a check mark. And then I can go on to assignment number 1. And in assignment number 1, it says, after watching the introduction video, apply some script to your sprite. Make them carry out an action of your choice. So I just want you to mess around. It doesn't have to be anything good. Throw some sprites in, apply some script, some code to that sprite, have it do some stuff. I usually want students to spend about 40 minutes to an hour messing around inside Scratch, just so you get familiar with it before I make you create something that makes sense. Okay, so spend about 40 minutes to an hour in there and just create something. Have your sprites do something silly or do 10 different things. I don't care. I just want you to have it do something. But I'm looking for about 40 minutes worth of work. Okay, once you've done that, you've created it. Okay, so you've got your assignment created. You're going to want to hit share. And I'm going to go in and show you what is going to happen. When you click this link inside the assignment, okay, so this is Moodle. I click this link, and it's going to very slowly take me to that studio. It looks like somebody's already submitted something to this. Now I want to add projects to this. And it's going to pull up all of the projects it has under my username. And right now it looks kind of blank. I'm hoping this works, but when I go back here and I click share, now it says shared. Okay? Congratulations on sharing your project. Now, when I go back to here, and I say add a project, not sure why it's not showing up here, but yours should show up right here. And then you can just click on that one and it shares it into here. Very confused as to why mine is not. Maybe because it's my studio, so it's not going to let me share one of my own projects to my own studio. But this is clicked. It allows you to anyone to share it, and it looks like Nadia has already shared something. So I know it is working, and that's the process you have to go through it. If you get to this point and you can't figure out the share, email me, let me know, and then I can come in and help and make sure you get it figured out. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go back to the main page, and I'm going to show you the last thing here. For assignment number 1, you can see inside the grading summary. Yours will tell you whether or not you've submitted it. Because I'm the teacher, mine shows me how many people I have in the class, how many drafts, how many submitted, how many need grading. But yours is going to say it's been submitted for grading, it's overdue, whatever it is. I changed the due date. I want that one done today. So I want you to spend about 40 minutes to an hour on it, and I want you to get it shared and submitted today. I'll hang out in here, not on YouTube, but I'll be here. I'll check my email. If somebody has an issue and they can't get it to share, send me an email. I can join up with you on Teams, and you can share your screen. I can figure out what the issue is. But before you finish your work today, Friday, I want you to share something you've created in Scratch into assignment number 1. Okay, and that's due today. All right. Any questions at all? I'm not seeing any on YouTube. Not seeing any on Teams. Okay, I believe I only have 1 like on this stream. That's just cruel. That's just cruel. 1 like only. I work so hard. I'm 42 years old and I'm streaming my videos for you on YouTube. Anyway, it's fine. I'm not upset about it. Feel free to follow my account if you want. You don't have to, but I'm trying to get more followers than Otten Bright. And like honestly, I should have more. So that's it. I'm going to be done. All of you are going to start working on your first Scratch assignment, and you're going to get it shared. I'm going to be here waiting, checking my email. If you have issues, can't figure it out, let me know, and then I can get in and I can help you figure it out. Okay? Have a great Friday. Oh, 2 likes. 2 likes now. Oh, yeah, 4 likes. Get on it. Okay. Have a good Friday, and I will talk to you if you need any help.